Hey, welcome. Corey Gardner here with you tonight. We're going to dive into some live training. We're going to dive into some live trading, and then we've got live Q&A towards the end. So I'm going to dive through some slides here quick before we get into the Primetime Trades tournament. But wanted to bring some value. We're going to dive into the MACD and RSI tonight. So make sure to stay with us until the end, as well as we've got the Zoom open for everyone wanting to join the fireside chat style. I don't even know what you want to call it. We hang out, we trade crypto, and we have some fun. So before we get into that, I'm going to dive into how you can accelerate your earning potential with higher end tournaments, aka Primetime Trades tonight. We're going to dive into how you can expand your knowledge and skill on how to consistently play successful trades, right? So it's not necessarily about making that big gain and then typically lose it all, but making consistent moves day in, day out that can keep you moving forward, right? So we want to apply learnings in the simulated format and then take them to our real portfolios. So implementing tools and strategies that I use real time every single day to maximize my gains and minimize my losses. So if you're just joining us, you're not familiar with Brank. Brank came about from our founder, Daniel, trading crypto, kicking butt, making some massive profits, and having his friends and family ask him how he's doing it. So he just went and built a platform so that his friends and family could trade crypto, learn what he was doing with no risk. So he shared it with me a couple years ago now already, and I fell in love right away. So I help people get involved with cryptocurrency and digital assets, and this was a no-brainer way of helping people learn and accelerate their positions, their profits, their learning to the point where they can earn their financial freedom, right? Generating additional income streams, making that wealth grow year after year after year all starts with step one, right? So taking the risk out of it really helps people get that foot in the door. And we have something much simpler to use than the typical exchanges. So this is tied directly into Binance, the exact same trading pairs. We use market orders to get in, get out, but it helps you get a feel for the markets. So it's just like anything, right? Riding a bike, learning how to dance. Do you read a book about it, or do you just get on that bike and start pedaling away, right? So the fastest way to learn is actually to get in the driver's seat and start driving, right? So Brank was created to provide a risk-free environment where you can learn how to trade without worry or loss of money, right? So tournaments are a way that we can prove strategy and make things a little bit more interesting, right? So they range from completely free to 1 token, 2 token, 5 token, 10 token, right? So the newbies are for getting started, and then the primetime trades are for taking things to a whole new level, applying your strategy, testing it in real time, and reaping the benefits. So we hold a strategy session where the winners explain the trades they made. We go through what we're looking for, and this allows people to sit back and really figure out what works consistently for them, right? Just because one way works great for me doesn't mean that it's going to work great for you. That's where having a community full of people that are successfully trading comes in handy, right? So there are tokens, there are credits. You can buy tokens, as many as you want. They're $1.30 each right now. 1 token, 2 token, 5 token, 10 tokens for these tournaments, right? So just keep in mind the transfer costs. Ethereum, a little pricier, $10 roughly, right? So if you're buying $10 worth of tokens, just keep in mind. But yeah, I just loaded right up myself. And then you can win credits. So you cannot buy credits. You have to earn them through these tournaments, right? So we have a shop coming out. Oh, pardon me. Too much coffee. And you'll be able to buy goods, invest into your education and do some other cool stuff with these credits coming down the line. But for now, you can withdraw them in USDC and go put it into the real market. So you can see with this tournament, $338 payout, right? So the buy-in could be just a few dollars, $8 for, $13 for the 10 token, and you can see some pretty good returns. So it takes the risk out of trading with real funds, but it can help you bolster that portfolio at the same time. So eventually you can work your way up to Brank Plus, or you can jump in like I did, feet first, and get all the benefits that come with it. So there's additional exclusive monthly jackpot tournaments, live weekly trade secret webinars, as well as the Winners Circle Facebook group and Discord communities. So a lot of fun stuff. At the end of the day, you'll see us floating around, Daniel, Ari, Nick, and myself. We're here to bring value as much as possible. And one little cool addition is if you want to host your own tournaments, really take things up a notch, you can earn up to 5% of the prize pool for helping us expand. So a lot of fun stuff, a lot of room for growth. We are just getting started, right? So it's super exciting, but not going to sit here and talk about the future. Let's dive straight into the live trading. So you can come in. If you're not sure where Primetime Trades is, just hit that Brank button and it'll load up. One of the first things, Tuesday Primetime Trades, you can see there's 4 of us already, 46 token prize pool. So stick with me, I'll take you through some trading using the RSI, using the MACD, but just want to give you a quick little rundown. So in the newbies tournament, we go over the Learn portal, how you can trade for free and figure out how these markets move. So just a quick little touch base on this. You can see I'm up over 350%. So right floating around 360. You start with $100,000 in simulated funds. You can trade whatever you want. You can see I've got a good little spread here, and then how much they've grown in value since you purchased them. So the big winner here is FET. It's an interesting DeFi play, but yeah, jumping straight into the tournament, we can get rocking and rolling. So Primetime Trades is 5 tokens to get started. We do have 1 hour. You can see Nicholas is already in profits. Farmer John not too far behind him. Oh, I forgot it opens up a new tab. Apologies, 1 second. And you can see here, we got Bitcoin right away. So you can switch between the 5-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour charts. I typically like to zoom right out and figure out what the markets are doing. So is Bitcoin dumping right now, or is it going sideways? Is it going up? It's looking fairly good, right? So one of the first things that I look for is the watch list. Do we have a lot in the green or a lot in the red? There's some different coins here, OGN, WRX, but metal was a big one yesterday. Hot, 38%. Man, some of these coins are moving. So you can come in and start looking for a coin to get involved with. So the idea is you start out with $100,000 in simulated funds, and you want to grow these funds as much as possible. So one of the tools we use, MACD, it's the same, basically the same as what was just there, but I will use this one just to keep the colors matching so it's a little easier to explain. So the MACD is one of these tools that we use, to figure out when we want to get into the markets and when we want to get out. So you can see here the blue line, the red line, it's an oscillator, so it indicates momentum, as well as the volume. So red, dark red being sell side, heavy sell side volume, the pink being lighter, and then the green being positive buy side volume. So this is where this coin is selling off, but we can always zoom out and take a good look as well. So when the blue line is up above the red, we typically have a move upwards, right? Where it crosses back below the red, the blue line crosses below the red, it's stagnating. We're going sideways for a bit, right? So we're still over this medium line. It can come way down below once it crosses over again. So this would have been perfect time to enter. Whereas right now it is pulling back, right? So not necessarily something I want to get involved with right now. It actually could be a decent buy here in the next little bit. Once things calm down, we want to see this MACD calm down. It could pull back to 1.5 cents range. Tough to say. You keep an eye on it. Either way, it's not going to do me any good right now because this is a 1 hour tournament, right? So MACD is a useful tool. Something else I use is the RSI, both stochastic and the regular RSI. So stochastic is a little bit more sensitive. It'll pick up these momentum moves, these momentum shifts, and then the RSI is on the bigger time frames typically. So if we switch to a daily, for instance, this is going to give us a good indication that this thing is way overbought. We call this a blow off top, where that big wick is, right? So it could still have a little bit more steam, but for the most part, I'm not interested in this trade, right? Not on that time frame anyways. So just like the other one, we want to give it some time to cool off. Strong sell. You got an indicator down here below as well, so you can cycle through it. I don't use it much, but the more indication, the more information that you have to make your decisions, the better off you are. So this is a coin that just about won me the tournament a couple days ago, or yesterday. The guy that won the tournament was actually trading it too. So that's where, we had a lot of fun. I got out early. He rode it up and kicked my butt. He won by a few $100. It was pretty funny. It was pretty awesome. I was proud of him. But just like that, you can make a purchase, right? 25, 50, 75, 100%, depending on how much trust, how much confidence you have in this coin. So I just placed the trade to feel things out. It's not necessarily a good place to buy, but the next candle or two are going to tell the difference. So I'm just going to close that position for now, give it some time, but just showing you how quick and easy it is to make that trade. So I broke even completely. Wasn't too concerned about it, but we do have the Zoom room open. So if you want to join us, we're going to be trading for the next 45 minutes, really dive through. Just click on this link right here and you will be admitted to the Zoom. So this goes till quarter after, so we've got some time. So make sure to come in, make some trades, and we can't let Nick win all the time. I could go kick his butt. But that is the basic rundown. I'm going to jump back, see if we have any questions, any comments, any concerns. I know I went through that fairly quickly, but we got more, right? So I wanted to touch on Oh, it's going to open up. I knew it. It's going to open up a different tab. Share my screen. So the RSI is something that I use as well. So when we want to find a coin, let's see what OGN is doing. I typically start on the 1 hour. I have my RSI and my MACD. So this is where I would use a combination of indicators to figure it out. We are on a 1 hour time frame, so that's where things can be fairly interesting. But this is something I like to see here, right? So the blue is crossing up above the red line on the RSI, indicating movement upward. We have room to grow on the regular RSI, and in the MACD, the sell side volume is dropping off, and this blue line is about to intersect that red line and cross above. So this is 3 indications saying that it is a decent buy right now. It might not win us the tournament, but that's where we can zoom in, right? So 15-minute is great. That looks like it has room to grow. I would be a little hesitant. It might need some time to cool off. So this is where typically this last candle is the biggest one. It could climb up to 223, but it's tough to say. So we can continue to zoom in the 5-minute, and it's still saying we've made it a little bit over this previous little top here, this previous resistance line. So it's tough to say. Well, trading with emotion at this point, I'm not interested. So that, because the RSI is overbought, you know, we're up and above on this, so it needs some time to cool off. It could go higher, but it's not, it's a gamble, right? And that's what you typically find with these coins like this. They're already up 35%, right? So the fact that we see a lot of these moving up is really good to see. Dent is one that made some really nice gains here not too long ago. And I'm tempted to buy some of that right now. I always got to caution myself, slow down a little bit, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. Zoom out. The 5-minute can be very deceiving, right? So the RSIs are best used on the larger time frames. The MACD is a decent blend for each, but the larger the time frame, the stronger the trend, right? So it might look real good on the 5-minute, but that larger trend will kick your butt, basically, right? So there's certain patterns that I look for. This would be questionable. It might be a decent time to enter on the 1 hour, but that's where on the 5-minute, it's still, you know, 50-50. It's a coin flip. So that's not something I would get in, right? So it's better to protect your nest egg than take a loss and have to earn it back, right? So I'll spend 45 minutes, an hour, sometimes looking for coins, and then the last 15 minutes. Sometimes I don't do nothing, right? Sometimes the best trade is the one you don't make. And I've come in second place before just by parking my funds, make that one trade and break even. And everyone trying to trade takes a loss, right? It happens. Not anything against them. It's just sometimes the markets turn on you, right? So this is a coin that would be right. I would keep an eye on this one too. But hopefully that makes a lot of sense. There is another website that I use when researching these projects, so we can get into longer term trades as well. But for, so let me bring it up, finding some of these shorter term trades, I use Crypto Bubbles. So this gives you an hourly update and a quick visual on these movers, right? So you can simply click on it, see a little bit of the data, and figure it out. So it's quick visual. You can load it up on your phone and keep referencing it. But CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko is also a very handy tool. So you can come in, you can see what's been performing best in the 1 hour, as well as different categories, right? So NFTs and DeFi have been quite hot, but gaming is taking over. Storage and sports. Sports has been one that I've been capitalizing on a fair bit. But yeah, you get an idea of what the markets are doing. This is pretty flat. I mean, yesterday was a pretty decent day, but yeah, Binance Smart Chain, you know, some of these coins are doing quite well. You can see a pretty good indication. Music, Audius, that's when I was researching. I had the app on my phone. It's a alternative to Spotify. This guy right here, Audius. Kind of a cool project. Up 730% in 30 days. I should have spent more time researching it. That's funny. It was a couple months ago. But yeah, if you're not sure what it is, that's not a good example. You can come down, just click on it. Ethereum, for instance, gives you all the data you need, which exchanges, you know, what is Ethereum, smart contracts, what is gas. They have a lot of good information on here. So CoinGecko is amazing. CoinMarketCap is pretty good as well. I like CoinGecko better, just so you have more information. I'm always diving into DeFi and the NFT markets. So something super important to me, as well as you can see coin depth, stuff like that on these exchanges. So 2% depth. It comes into play when you're playing with some of these lesser known projects, right? So hopefully that helps. I see this storage coin is pumping now that I was looking at CoinGecko, but that's mostly what we wanted to cover tonight, right? So definitely join us in the Zoom afterwards. I want to keep these fairly tight, 20 minutes, you know, give some good value, give you an indication of what I'm doing to trade, then we're going to hop into that Zoom. So I will see you there. If you aren't sure where that Zoom link is, I will show you one last time before I hop off. Look at that, nice little move. Could have made a couple percent. I gotta catch up to Nick here. So just click this Zoom link here and you will be able to join us. So I will see you there.
I'm down $300 on that. So
on Jetcoin or NFTX?
NFT.